The hidden rule of money, why most people stay stuck, and how the wealthy escape. There's a quiet mistake most people make about money. It doesn't look like a mistake. It looks like effort. It looks like discipline. It looks like doing everything right. You wake up early, you work hard, you try to improve, and yet nothing really changes, not in a meaningful way. Your income might grow slightly, your lifestyle might improve a little, but the gap between you and true financial freedom still feels far away. And after a while, you start to wonder, am I missing something? The answer is yes, but it's not what you think. You're not missing motivation. You're not missing intelligence. You're not even missing opportunity. You're missing one thing, understanding where money actually comes from. Counter-break false model. Most people are taught a very simple idea about money. Work more, earn more, upgrade your skills, increase your income, repeat. And on the surface, it makes sense because effort does matter, skill does matter, consistency does matter. But here's the problem. That model assumes that money is evenly available, that if you just try hard enough, you can access it. But that assumption is wrong. Money is not evenly distributed, and that single fact changes everything. Let's slow this down and actually see it. Imagine taking all the wealth in a country, every dollar, every asset, every investment, and shrinking it down to just $100. Now imagine distributing that $100 across 100 people. You might expect something fair, balanced even, but that's not what happens. On the bottom half barely gets anything. The next large group gets a little more. But then something strange happens. As you move higher, the distribution becomes more extreme, until at the very top, a tiny fraction of people control a massive portion of everything, to the point where one person can hold more wealth than the majority combined. Pause, let it sink in. That's not a theory, that's reality. And once you understand that, you have to ask a different question. Key question. If most of the money exists at the top, why are you trying to earn from the bottom? Why people stay stuck? This is where things get uncomfortable because most people don't choose their market. They default into it. They sell to people they understand, people they relate to, people who think like them, which usually means people with similar financial limits. And so they build businesses around low spending power. They compete harder, work longer, lower their prices, and still struggle to grow. Not because they're bad, but because the environment they chose has limited potential. You cannot extract significant wealth from people who don't have it. So instead of asking, how do I sell more? You need to ask, where is the money already concentrated? Because money doesn't reward effort alone. It rewards positioning. There's a pattern that shows up in every business. A small group of customers produces the majority of revenue, and within that group, an even smaller subset produces most of the profit, and within that subset, a tiny fraction drives disproportionate results. This pattern repeats again and again. It's not random, it's structural. Think of it like layers. Each level of income has another level above it, and each level above has exponentially more power. This is why some businesses feel stuck. While others grow rapidly, they're not operating at the same level. Most businesses are designed for volume, low price, high quantity, which creates more customers, more problems, more complexity, and often less profit because margins are thin. Now compare that to a business designed differently: higher price, fewer customers, higher margins, more focus, more control. One high-value client can be worth more than hundreds of low-value ones. Let's make this simple. If you sell something for $50, you need 200 people to make $10,000. But if you sell something for $10,000, You need one. Same outcome. Completely different effort. Now think about support, delivery, time investment. Which one is easier to manage? Why people resist? So why doesn't everyone do this? Because it feels uncomfortable. Charging higher prices feels risky. It triggers doubt. Who would pay that? What if nobody says yes? And so people stay safe. They lower their prices, they attract more people, but the wrong kind, and they stay stuck. Identity limit. Here's the deeper issue. Most people price based on themselves, their own income, their own fears, their own comfort zone. But your customer is not you. If you price like you stay where you are. Imagine someone is willing to spend $1,000 and you offer them something for $100. You didn't gain a customer, you lost value. You left $900 on the table and you never even saw it. Now take it further. That extra $900, it's not just revenue, it's profit because your cost didn't increase proportionally. So by underpricing, you're not just earning less, you're reducing your potential dramatically. Now let's talk about how wealthy people think, because this is where everything changes. Lower income buyers focus on cost. They hear a number and react emotionally. That's expensive. Higher income buyers think differently. They hear the same number and ask, what do I get for it? What's the return? What does this solve? Because price, see, without context means nothing. If something costs $20,000 but creates $100,000 in value, is it expensive? No. If something costs $20,000 but saves years of effort, is it expensive? No. It's efficient. Wealthy people don't buy based on price, they buy based on outcome. So if you want to serve them, you have to change what you offer. It's no longer about features. It's about speed, ease, certainty. Expand what they value. They want things done faster. They want less friction. They want guarantees. They don't want complexity. They want results, and they will pay for it. But there's a condition. You cannot sell the same thing at a higher price. It must feel different. Because if it can be compared easily, it becomes a commodity, and commodities compete on price. If your offer can be compared, it can be replaced. Strategy, create distinction. So your goal is to create separation. Make your offer unique. Make it specialized. Make it difficult to compare. So buyers evaluate it independently. Quick supply-demand loop. Now something powerful begins to happen. As your offer improves, demand increases. As demand increases, you raise your price. As price increases, margins expand. With better margins, you improve your delivery. Better delivery creates stronger reputation. Stronger reputation drives more demand. And now, you've created a cycle. Compound effect. A cycle that compounds over time. Higher price leads to better service, leads to more demand, leads to higher price. This is how high-level businesses operate, not through effort alone, but through structure. So step back for a moment. Look at your current situation. Look at your income. Look at your strategy. Look at your environment and ask yourself honestly, are you chasing money or are you positioned near it? Because those are two completely different paths. One keeps you busy, the other makes you wealthy. Final drop, core message. You don't need more effort. You don't need more hours. You don't even need more skills. You need access. Access to the right level, access to the right people, access to where the money actually exists. Because once you understand that, you stop chasing money and you start positioning yourself where it flows.